Today I'm going to do a product comparison of two Boxcars, one from Tangent Scale Models, the other an Athearn Genesis Boxcar. One of the things I'll tell you right away is I know that usually product comparisons involve the exact same model, same road name, just in two different manufacturers. Athearn does not produce the 40-foot high cube boxcar that Tangent produces, and then Tangent doesn't produce the 50-foot double plug boxcar that the Athearn Genesis is. But both of these are Illinois Central models. They're both comparable in terms of their detail, so I'm going to go ahead and compare the two of these and see if we have a winner. So I'm going to compare these two models on 5 different categories: packaging, the weight of the model, the chassis and the detail, the paint, and then the price. And we'll take a look at all 5 of these categories and see who comes out on top. First thing we'll take a look at is the packaging. Here's the Tangent box first. You can see that this is very nicely packaged. Nice display window. One of the things that I certainly like about the Tangent packaging, the type of model, the road name, the road number is very visible. It's nice big font. You can easily see it, so if you're storing your models sideways like this, you can be able to pick out and see what's what. One of the things that I really like about the Tangent is on the back side, it talks very specifically about the prototype that they produced. So you can take a look at this, you read through it, read about it. One of the things, again, that I like about this, if you're not overly familiar with the actual prototype itself, this will give you some information about when the boxcars were produced or when the model was produced, their service, and things like that. So real quickly, opening up the packaging. Comes in a very nice blister. The model is very well secured in here. It doesn't move around. Easily removable. Nice clear plastic covering, and the model comes out and all of the parts and pieces are intact. So here's the Athearn Genesis packaging. Again, very nicely detailed, good display window on here. A nice little added touch that the Genesis line box has that the Tangent doesn't is the window wraps around, so you can actually see parts. I know there's a glare on here, but you can actually see some of the detail on the underside of the chassis, the air lines, the brake cylinders, and things like that. Looking at this model sideways, again, you can see the road name, the model, and the road number. One of the things, again, in my opinion, and I don't have the greatest eyes, the font in this is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more difficult to read. So, you know, if that's a consideration for you, it's a little bit smaller font, more difficult to read. Here's the back side of the box. Nothing majorly exciting on here. So again, the model itself is very well secured in the packaging to protect all of the parts. Go ahead and open this up. One of the things that this includes that the Tangent model does not is a parts list. So again, this is nice, especially if you miss a part or piece. There's numbers on here. You can order parts and pieces from Athearn. And then one of the things that might actually be considered a disadvantage, every Athearn product you get by tells you to sign up for their news. I get kind of sick of dealing with those. But here you can see, again, nice blister packaging. This model is very secure. Top piece slides off, plastic covering, and the model comes out very easily from the packaging. So there's that. So for the first round, I'm going to score Tangent as the winner of this round for 2 reasons. Number one, I like the font size on the side of the packaging. It's easier to read the road name and number and what model you have, especially if you are storing them with a bunch of other rolling stock. And the thing that put it over the top for me is Tangent has the information about the prototype on the back of the box. And again, that just provides more information, more detail for the model railroader to know how to use this particular rolling stock. So round 1 goes to tangent. Okay, let's go ahead and check the weight on these models. Looking at the National Model Railroad Association's recommended practice 20.1, they state that any rolling stock in HO scale should be 1 ounce plus the length of the freight car in inches multiplied by 0.5. So for example, if you had a freight car that was 10 inches, you multiply that by 0.5 ounces. So that would be a total of 5 ounces plus the original 1 ounce. That would mean that 10-inch freight car would be 6 ounces according to recommended practice 20.1. So with these two models, one of these is a 40-foot scale boxcar, the other is a 50-foot scale boxcar. I went ahead and did the math on that. The weight on the tangent model should be approximately 4.4 ounces. So let's go ahead and put this on the scale and see how much it weighs. So this particular model comes in at 4.3 ounces, so about 1/10 of an ounce below what the estimated weight should be. Let's go ahead and take this off, zero the scale back out again. The tangent model, the Athearn model is a little bit longer. We expect this model to weigh in right at about 4.9 ounces. So let's go ahead and put this on the scale. And you can see it weighs in precisely at 4.9 ounces. So the tangent model might be about 1/10 of an ounce underweight. The Athearn model was right on. Even though that the tangent model, it's still within 10% of what the expected weight is, but just because the Athearn model was exactly on what the estimated weight should be based upon the NMRA recommended practice 20.1, this round goes to Athearn. The next thing we'll take a look at are the details of the particular model. Some of the fine details really are in the handrails, the handbrakes, the coupler release levers, the walkway railings, some of those various features. Take a look very closely on the tangent model. Everything is separately applied. All the walkways, grab irons are separately applied. One of the things that it's a little bit difficult to see is all of the hinge work and the handles for the door are separately applied. Taking a look underneath the model, you can see the air lines, the cylinders. All of those are presented in high detail. This one they did an excellent job looking at the prototype, and the coupler release is actually a trombone style coupler release, which they've accurately modeled. One of the things that this particular model has, these have authentic KD couplers, so you know that you have the high-end couplers on here. One of the things that is different than on the Athearn is on the trucks. The Athearn trucks have animated roller caps, and the tangent product does not. That the roller, the bearing caps are not animated. So when the trucks turn, you don't see any animation in the roller cap. Here's the Athearn model, and again, looking at the detail on here, one of the things that I really like, especially on the doors, the amount of detail. The handles and things, the locks on the doors just have a little bit higher quality appearance than on the tangent model, especially the cross pieces on there. Again, all of the handrails are separately applied. Coupler release, similar type trombone coupler release is what's on the tangent model. Looking at the underside, there's a little bit more detail in terms of the airlines and things. They just seem to be a little bit more prominent than on the tangent model. one of the things, and I know that this is a company process, but the Athearn product does not have KD couplers on it. It has the McHenry couplers on it. And again, in my opinion, in terms of being a model railroader, I like the KD coupler. They just seem to be a little bit more durable. These actually are plastic. The couplers themselves are plastic. But I think one of the things that really, for me, pushed the Athearn product over the top is that the roller caps are actually animated. So when the truck is turning, the bearing cap rotates as with the prototype. So as these are rolling down your track, you can actually see the roller caps moving as if you would on an actual prototype model. So although the level of detail on both of these models is very, very high, I'm going to give the nod to the Athearn model in two different areas. Number one, the animated roller caps is just a little bit higher level of detail on here, and then the other thing that put it over the top for me was the level of detail on the doors. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give this round to Athearn. This round we're going to go ahead and evaluate the paint on these two models. Take a look at the Tangent model first. Now I will admit this is a little bit of a not exactly a direct comparison, because we're not evaluating the Athearn Illinois Central Orange to the Tangent Illinois Central Orange, but we're also not just evaluating the colors, we're also going to evaluate the details, the markings, the level of authenticity compared to the prototype. And one of the things that I will say right off the bat, I do have some other Athearn products in the Illinois Central Orange. I didn't get one of those out because they're actually still in totes from when I had to pack up my layout. But I do know that the Athearn Illinois Central Orange is a little duller than the Tangent Illinois Central Orange. Looking at the Tangent model again, the orange is very, in my opinion, very true to form for Illinois Central. I've seen Illinois Central prototypes in real life, and they have a very distinct orange color to them. So Tangent absolutely nails this with their Illinois Central Orange. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the finer details on the markings. So I'm just going to slowly roll this past here so you can see the markings on the door. See some of the capacities. Scroll down just a little bit here. Looking at a few more of the markings here. More capacities on this side. Here's the Athearn model again, looking at the paint on this. This was originally a Missouri Pacific Lines boxcar that was repainted for Illinois Central. One of the things that is absolutely spot on this model, the patch out painting on some of the Missouri Pacific markings and the numbers. It's a different color brown. This is very prototypical of the sort of the boxcar colors from the 1950s, 1960s. Again, this is not in Illinois Central Orange, which makes this round a little bit difficult to judge. But again, as far as the paint, the patch outs, this is very true to the prototypical photos that are out on the internet. Let's take a little bit closer look at some of the markings on the Athearn model. So here's some of the capacity markings. Just going to slowly scroll past here. You can see the markings on the doors. Let the camera stop and focus. And then again, more of the capacities and the information about the boxcar. So after a lot of debate about this, I will slightly give the advantage to Tangent on this. And this is my opinion, but I don't think that there's any model railroad manufacturer that does Illinois Central Orange any better than Tangent does. I have a bunch of different Illinois Central models across all the manufacturers, Intermountain, Athearn, Bowser. Tangent does Illinois Central Orange the best. So because of that, I'm going to give this round to Illinois Central. But overall, the level of detail in the paint, the quality of the paint is phenomenal on both of these models. But I'm very partial to the Illinois Central Orange, so this round goes to the Tangent. Okay, to go ahead and wrap up this comparison of the Athearn Genesis 50-foot boxcar versus the Tangent 40-foot high cube boxcar. The last category we're going to evaluate these on is the manufactured suggested price. So both of these are, again, very high detail models. Both of these are considered to be top of the line in terms of realism, detail, the separately applied parts and pieces, the grab irons, the ladders, the walkways and such. So looking at it from a pricing standpoint, Athearn recommends that the standard price on their Genesis boxcar is $37.98. This is directly off their website. And the Tangent model, again off of their website, these are being sold for $44.95. So that's a pretty fairly significant disparity between the Athearn and the Tangent. The Tangent is almost $7 more per model. In my opinion, I think that's a pretty significant price difference. Both of them, again, are very highly detailed, but in terms of the level of detail, they are very, very close. One is not superior to the other. So because Athearn comes in almost a full $7 less expensive than does the Tangent this round, and this competition goes to the Athearn model. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it to be informative, especially if you're in the market for anything Athearn Genesis or Tangent and their lines of rolling stock. Please stay tuned for more videos, and I look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Okay, I have both the Tangent 40-foot high cube box cars and the Athearn Genesis 50-foot box cars set up, and I'm just going to run them here for a little bit. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to be back with a layout soon.